Hi, yeah, this is Jim.
Hey Jim, my name is Joe. I work with a real estate team. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
Great, thank you. Well, the reason for my call is that I saw your home came off the market recently, and I wanted to find out if it's still available or if it actually sold.
Oh, okay. That house we actually we didn't sell it. The we had it listed with an agent, but we the contract expired and we're still here.
I understand, Jim. Well, when are you gonna be looking to hire the right agent for the job to sell it?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not really sure at this point. I think what we're going to end up doing for now is just keeping it off the market and probably staying for a couple months to see if the market turns around. I think that's probably the reason why I didn't sell the first time, or that's at least what my agent told me. So I think we're just going to hang on to it for now.
Okay, I understand, Jim. Well, in order to sell your house once, you really need to sell it twice. May I explain? Agents sells the house to other agents and they sell it to clients. Quite frankly, your agent never sold it to me. That is one of the things I do best. I expose your house to all agents in the area and make calls daily to find you buyers for the house. That is what you want, right?
Yeah, I mean that seems nice. I don't know how. I mean, is that something that you would do to get the home sold? Is that kind of what you're referring to?
Yes, Jim. Actually, I'm sure that it was the reason why your home wasn't sold. Most likely wasn't because a lack of effort from the previous agent. Maybe it just wasn't done properly. It needs a different approach, right? And here we are, experts on. We specialize on selling homes that didn't sell the first time because we do things different here. You see, well, usually agents or real estate brokers, they just put the sign on the yard, they place your house on the MLS list as yours was, and then they just sit and pray for a buyer's agent to find it and get the house sold, right? Here on our team, we actually do things going further than that, right? We go the extra mile for you. We actually prospect clients for you. We prospect buyers, potential buyers to buy your house for top dollar and in no time. We also have many other benefits if you want me to give you the information so we can get an appointment and get all the details and see your house so we can get the best price for it. Does that have sense for you?
Um, I think we're just gonna probably end up staying for now. So, I'm not sure if we're really looking to sell right now.
I understand. What would be the benefit for you to decide to take off your home from the market and wait for later on because we don't know how the market is really going to be at that time, but we know right now how the market is. And I am telling you that we can be selling your home right away if you decide to put your house on the listing with us again. So, what would be a specific benefit for you to decide to keep it and risk it?
Um, I mean, I guess we'd have more freedom, at night because we'd come home from work and sometimes we'd have to get out of the house and show it. And I know that's kind of, been something that we weren't too happy about. And the other agent, only gave us a little bit of heads up. But I mean, could you sell our house? I mean, do you have? You said you could get it sold pretty quickly. I mean,
Oh, yes, I understand where you're going, Jim. Actually, the reason why I'm calling is because we are ready to sell your house. That's as we said, our experience here, and our knowledge is on making this type of sales as fast as possible. We do have buyers, and I'm really calling today to see if you're interested in selling it, so we can get you the buyer that you decide for your home.
okay. I mean, couldn't we just couldn't you just bring us a buyer? I mean, do you have to put it on the market though, or why couldn't you just bring us a buyer?
Sure. Well, we will need to do the prospecting according to your home, right? We will need to evaluate your home as well to make sure that you get the best deal as well as for buyer, right? If the best thing will be that we get you in touch with our specialist on the area that knows more than anybody your neighborhood and the market, so he can make a valuation, approximate valuation of what your home can be selling for, to make sure that we have the right price, right, and that we get that done as soon as possible. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, could you just email me some information?
Sure, I can email you the information. If what would be a good email address where I can send you this information about how we work?
Yeah, it's just jim@gmail.com.
Jim@gmail.com. That's great, Jim. As soon as we end the call, I will be making sure to send you the information. And what I can do for you today is that I can pencil our appointment, and you will confirm after you check this information that I'm going to send you. You can reach me through the email that I'm going to be using, or you can call me back at this number, however you wish, and I will give you a follow up also for tomorrow. Why don't I pencil your appointment with an agent for this Friday at 9 a.m.? Will that be okay?
Did you say cancel the appointment or?
No. Okay. Why don't I pencil your appointment? I just heard that, Jim, from the that was part of how they made the closing, right? Like pencil, like
Gotcha.
mm, yeah,
Yeah,
not for sure, but tentative, right?
gotcha. Yeah, I mean, what you could do then, Diego, is just say, "Let me pencil you in."
Oh, that's
Yeah,
how they said it.
yeah, pencil
So
you in. Otherwise, I thought
yeah,
it sounded like cancel, and I'm like,
yeah.
oh, hold on, I didn't think we set an appointment yet. But yeah, no, that's good. Let me pencil you in. How about
Pencil you,
we set
right?
an appointment for this time? Okay. So sure, yeah, I mean, we can set an appointment, but I do need to talk to my wife about it first before we can make a move. Um, could we just, maybe call you back, or how would that work?
Sure, Jim. I understand. I know the importance of getting this also discussed with your spouse. I bet she is part of the decision makers as well, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yes, excellent. So we want to make sure that she's aware, and even if it's possible for her to be also on our meeting, right?
Yeah.
So in that case, I will still pencil you in for Friday at 9, and you make sure you talk with your spouse, or I give you the time to talk with your spouse about this and make sure that we can meet on this time. And I call you back tomorrow at noon. Will that sound good for you?
Sure, that sounds good.
Great. So before we go, Jim, just to have an advance on this meeting, what would you think? One second, please.
Yeah, Diego, hang tight. I would close this one first. Um,
Yeah, that's what I remember. Just this one. I'm not gonna go right now through the for qualifying, right?
correct. Yeah, we're gonna hold off on doing
Right.
those.
Hey, you saved me a lot because now I was gonna start blah 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 blah. Okay. Yeah, because the thing is that I need to filter now and decide which how I'm gonna do the call flow with those ones, right? So
Yeah,
okay. So great, Jim. So I pencil you in then Friday at 9 a.m. right now. I'm gonna call you back tomorrow at noon to make sure that everything is okay. Do you have any further questions as for me today, or you can also send the information through the email, right?
okay. Yeah, that would be good. We'll just I'll shoot you an email if we have any questions. But yeah, that would be great.
Fantastic. So I look forward to hearing from you on our meeting on this Friday at 9 a.m. And you have a great day then, Jim.
Okay,
Nice meeting you.
perfect. Thank you so much. All right, bye bye. Okay, cool. So, Diego, great job.
Oh,
I
sorry,
just
you didn't hang up?
I did. Yep, quick. um,
Okay,
so
thank you.
on that one, Diego, just a few critiques. Um,
Okay.
what I usually try to do in the beginning, I saw that you kind of threw in some of the scripts there, which was good, especially kind of going into, the three P's of real estate and that kind of stuff. What I would say too is keep in mind that the mindset of the person that you're on the phone with. Sometimes we get kind of caught up in trying to set the appointment and kind of like what our next script's going to be or what we're going to say next. And
Mm.
really, our ultimate goal is to figure out this person's situation, and really understand where this seller is coming from. So, what I mean by that is really kind of digging deep into the seller's motivation, their time frame, and then also, what else is happening with them, and kind of getting to know them a little bit more first. So,
Mm.
I think you're doing a great job kind of tying the scripts into what to say next. And that's great because that's definitely part of the learning process is getting to know them and kind of just getting familiar with, what to say and how to say it. So great improvement there. I think for you to make a big improvement, which is going to help your conversion a ton, is really starting to ask them questions about, why they're doing this. Kind of and use the too soon of a close questions. So like in the beginning, Diego, when I was like, oh yeah, and I was kind of portraying um, a little bit of like a happier seller, kind of a positive person who,
Mm.
maybe has a little bit of time on their hands and, kind of understands real estate a little bit and has an idea of how realtors work. So, like, if you have someone like that on the phone, um, what you try to do to kind of figure out their situation is get them kind of talking in the beginning and a little bit less on selling our value. So that's usually why when I make my phone calls, especially to people I've never called before, and I have absolutely no relationship. Like this is pretty much a cold relationship, even though it's a warm lead. You're not calling them out of the blue to try to sell them something they may or may not want. But this person does need to sell, and we kind of need to figure out why it didn't sell, what their time frame is if they do still have an interest. So, kind of going back to their motivation, and then kind of position ourselves to, oh, great. Well, so you're here. This is your point A. You want to get here. I understand that now. Here's how we can help you do it. And then that way, it's kind of a natural transition through the conversation of, you're asking them questions, kind of really understanding how to craft the solution. Does that make sense? And then that way,
Yeah.
from the seller's standpoint, they're not just picking up the phone and having someone else, um, maybe another agent is calling them or, they're talking to other agents or whatever their situation might be. You sound less and less of a salesperson and more of a problem solver. And
Correct.
if we can kind of transition you to feel comfortable enough where really like these scripts you just kind of know how to handle it. And this obviously, Diego, this is going to come with time. This is going to take you some experience, but the quicker we can get you to that level, the more you're just going to be like a master at converting these people because that's essentially what we're trying to do is figure out, why this person wants to sell, why it maybe didn't happen the first time, what their time frame is if it were to happen, and then as much as we can about everything else, and then provide our solution based on their situation. So, like, for example, with
Make them
this,
bound first, right?
what's that?
Make them bound. Make bounding first, right? Like they get familiar with us, right? They know
Exactly.
that trust us, right?
Exactly. Because keep in mind, your three objectives anytime that you make a phone call is number one, can I set an appointment with this person? If not, the hardest thing to do is to set an appointment with someone you don't yet have a relationship with, right? So, you know, don't necessarily go for the close right off the gate because it might come off too salesy to them because they don't know really who you are or who we are, or they haven't really kind of figured out, why you're calling. We might understand the process because we're in real estate. We kind of sometimes take that for granted, but most people don't really know how. agents work and understand a team, and they don't know that you're maybe an agent. And so they might have a lot of these questions that are unanswered. And if we let them talk initially, pull it out, then we can kind of like easily add in our value. And then when it's time to close, it's so much easier. And we already kind of have that rapport built with them. So
Correct.
in this example in Diego, when we first started out, I kind of said I wasn't gonna move, or I really was hinting at that I'm not in a hurry. So oh yeah, it expired, and the other agent was okay. I wasn't really being negative. I wasn't frustrated. So maybe I had a good experience with them, but it just didn't sell. So when I was first starting out, you did a good job jumping right into, oh, okay, Jim, well, when are you looking to hire the right agent? So that's great. That should almost be your first question immediately, unless they hit you with a very specific objection, or
Correct.
you have to answer it because they may hang up if you're kind of feeling that one out. But if they're pretty open and nice and friendly on the phone, that would be my first question always. And kind of irrelevant of how they open up. So, okay, great. Mr. Seller, so when are you looking to hire the right agent for the job to sell your house? Oh, well, I'm not in a rush. I'm just kind of looking to sell. Um, but we're going to take it off the market. Um, it didn't sell with the first agent, so I think we're just going to hang tight. And then that's really when you go into that first objection handler, which is another way of saying I'm not looking to sell, I'm going to stay. And that kind of starts that icebreaker, Diego, on getting to know why they're selling their house. Okay, if you're not in a rush, why do you want to sell it? Because we're also looking to meet with motivated sellers, right? That makes it a lot easier for the agent who goes on the appointment to get their business. If they're not that serious, it's going to be, maybe the appointment is a little bit weaker, or it might
Sure.
take more
I get
time.
it.
Exactly. So this
No,
will
I mean, or he will just be because he has a lot of time. He just wants to meet somebody, right? So, okay,
exactly.
I will
Yeah.
meet.
He might be exactly. He might be wasting our time just as much as he wants to waste his. So um, this will this will also help you set better appointments too, Diego, because for you too, for the agents, we have to close the deal to get paid. And then for you, your bonuses are on the results of setting an appointment that's qualified up front. So great, you have a motivation, you are willing to meet us, good deal. That counts as your upfront bonus. But your big money for you is going to be made on the back end by actually getting them sold. So this will help you kind of set up good appointments versus maybe not so great appointments. And that would be a great thing to tell the agent. Hey, this guy, he definitely wants to meet with us. I qualified him. Seems great. Here's all my notes. Although his time frame, it doesn't seem like he needs to sell. He just may want to sell. So someone who needs to sell, that's great. We'd help those people all day. Those are almost going to be a more of a guaranteed deal than someone who's kind of wishy-washy and they got a lot of time, and maybe that's because their price, they want to push the price, and maybe that's why it didn't sell. So your main objective is really to, number one, set the appointment. But then if you can't do that, Diego, your third objective is always to build rapport. So don't be afraid of setting yourself up for maybe another phone call, or asking for a referral, or just building that relationship. Because statistically, what we've found is it will, on average, take an agent on our team 7 phone calls before we close a deal with a person. So, and that's just because that's normal human relationships. If I call you out of the blue and you're selling me a computer printer, and maybe I registered on a website that was about printers, so like great, I have an interest. But if someone just randomly calls me and says, hey, I saw you're on my website, and looks like you are in the market for a printer, here's the best printer, when can I sign you up, I got all the paperwork done, I'm going to be very hesitant to talk to that person versus someone who calls me as like, hey, we're kind of like printer experts. What are you looking for? Oh, well, here's my problem. Oh, okay, great. And then you kind of move into understanding them, and then that's how we can craft that solution for them. So that's what we're really looking to do here, Diego. And like the better we understand the scripts, should they have an objection or a question, then the more professional that we can respond to that. But ideally, we want the appointment to kind of be like this natural conversation flow of, okay, I'm starting to build rapport, I'm understanding why you're selling, your time frame, what your expectations are, and then I can portray the value. So for this gentleman, if you're talking to this type of seller on the phone and they're kind of like, they're a nice person, but they're not necessarily in a need to sell, that they may want to. And this might be someone you encounter in like a higher price point. He might have no financial stress and maybe just wants to get a good price. So when you're going through your questions in Diego, that's a great one to be like, so Mr. Seller, hey Jim, so do you need to sell your house? Well, no, we don't really necessarily need to sell our house. We wanted to sell our house, and we knew an agent, and we listed it with them, and um, it was on the market for 6 months, and we had a lot of traffic on it, but it just expired, and we just didn't get anything that we were looking for. Gotcha. Okay, Jim. So can you tell me about that more? What exactly
What are you
were,
looking for?
yeah, what were some of the things that you think why it didn't sell? Was it something that the agent did? No, actually, I think the agent was pretty good. I think that she showed the house a lot of times, and she always gave us updates here and there, and she seemed like she was really good. Okay, gotcha. So, so Jim, what were some of the things that you would change about what the agent did? Well, I never really knew if our price was too high, so I guess maybe communicating with us a little bit better would be good, but I'm not really sure. Oh, okay. So Jim, you think that the price would be high. Why would you say that? What makes you say that? Well, every time we did have a showing, they would give us an offer, or they would come down lower than what we had listed it, and that might be the case. Gotcha. Okay. So Jim, it sounds like minimum standard. I mean, you still want to get the home sold, though, right? Yes. Okay. And Jim, I didn't ask you, where were you moving to? What actually is prompting that move? Oh, well, actually, we were moving to the north side of Atlanta. We just wanted a smaller house that's closer to my work. Oh, okay. Well, what do you do for a living, Jim? Oh, well, I'm a doctor. Oh, okay. Do you have your own practice? Yeah, we own a practice, and right now I commute about an hour, and I just wanted to be closer to work and make that trip. Okay. So, Jim, do you have like a professional helping you, look at where the different areas that you might purchase next? No, not yet. We really wanted to sell this one first, and then probably use that same agent, I guess, to help us out. But I actually haven't heard from her since we've canceled our agreement. Gotcha. Okay. So Jim, what you're saying is you need to sell this house first to go make the purchase into the next one. Is that right? Yes. Yeah, that would be right. We don't need to, but we don't want to have two mortgages. Sure. Well, I understand that, Jim. So you want to get closer to work. So tell me about that. How is that affecting you right now? I mean, is you said you have a 1 hour trip each day. Is that's a 2 hour trip each back and forth to and from work. That's 10 hours a week, right? Yes. Yeah, that's one way of thinking about it. Gotcha. Okay. So Jim, really this move for you is a way to reduce your commute from probably almost a part-time job each week to then maybe have that time with your family or friends, or to do whatever you want. Is that correct? Yeah, I think that's right. It's really not a money thing for us as much as it is like a lifestyle change. Gotcha. Okay, Jim, I think I'm starting to get a good idea of kind of what you're looking for. It seems like, where you are right now is you're comfortable. You do want to sell the house, to make your commute less, but only really if the circumstances were right. Is that pretty much, is that correct? Yeah, that would be a good way of putting it. Okay, well, Jim, we're definitely interested in working with you. Um, Let me ask you this then, Jim. I mean, it seems like minimum standard, you want to get the house sold, right? Yeah, sure. And I'm sure the agent that you had last, she seemed like she worked really hard to get your home sold, but, did everything they probably know how to do, yet it didn't get sold the first time around. So I'm convinced it's not a lack of effort from the other agent, Jim. In fact, it's probably more likely in your approach. So you simply just need a different approach, and that's exactly why I think we should just get together and talk about what we need to do in order for you to get your commute down, from the 10 hours right now you're spending Monday to Friday, and let's get you some more time with your family. We can definitely do that. And in fact, going back to the main reason why I'm calling you today is because we do specialize in selling homes that didn't sell the first time around. And I was just hoping you'd be free to get together for about 15 minutes, talk with one of our real estate professionals about why your house didn't sell, and then what we can do for you to get to a shorter commute at this point. How does that sound, Jim? Would you be open to meeting with us? Yeah, you know what? That sounds pretty good. Yeah, I think, like I said, I want to sell, and, if you guys can do the job, I'd be willing to hear what you got to say. Great. Well, Jim, I appreciate that. Let me ask you then, are you available this week? What does your schedule look like? I'm just looking at my calendar now, and it looks like we have a Friday and a Saturday morning appointment slot open. Do one of those times work for you? Yeah, actually, Saturday would be better. My wife and I work during the week. Obviously, like I said, I'm a doctor, and I probably won't get out till, geez, 7 or 8 p.m. on the weekday. So yeah, Saturday would be good. Great. Okay, Jim. Well, um, how does 10:30 sound in the morning? Is that too early for you, or is that good? Oh, that would be pretty good. Okay, great. Let's do this then, Jim. I'll pencil you in for 10:30 on Saturday, and then one of our business partners, Jim, he's our specialist in the area, and he's really the one who's going to be able to talk to you about what our team can do and price and answer any questions you have. And he'll only take about 15, 30 minutes, depending on how many questions you have. Um, and I will pencil you in for 10:30 on Saturday to meet with him. And then, Jim, let me ask you, what's a good email address I can forward you our contact info to? And then that way you have it on file. If you need to change anything between now and then, I know it's only Tuesday, you can just call, email, or text us. Okay, cool. Yeah, you can hit me at drjim@gmail.com. Okay, great. Got it. So that sounds good, Jim. Okay, well, I appreciate it. I got you at 10:30 on Saturday, and I'll shoot you an email as soon as we hang up. And we look forward to see if we can get you your home sold. All right, great. Thanks so much. All right, have a good one, sir. Okay, bye. And that might be,
Jim, you used the word there, commute or something like that.
yes.
What is that?
So commute is your your trip from your job to your home, essentially. So like your work
Uh-huh.
commute, like people commute to and from work, commute. Um, it's
Okay.
essentially their drive time. So like a lot of people,
Okay.
Diego, they have what do you call it? They have a distance they need to go from where they live to their work, and for a lot of people, 20 to 30 minutes is about the maximum most people are comfortable driving. Otherwise, it's a pretty long trip in the car.
Yes,
You
yes.
you know, because you don't
I
want
have
to.
here
Yeah, you don't want
here
to.
in El Salvador. It's small, right? El
Yeah,
Salvador.
a lot of
Yeah,
traffic.
but yeah, from a lot of traffic, but and also from one uh, extreme to the other, it will be like 4 hours, right? And I've seen people that actually travels that, but people from Santa Ana, which is on one side of El Salvador, to San Vicente, which is on the other. side, and they travel for work every day. So that means they're spending,
Yeah.
like 3, 4 hours. I mean, they just go to sleep home for 3 hours also, and then come back.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. So like if you can find out something like that, Diego, from the seller, now you can start understanding, maybe A, why it didn't sell, and then B, why they're trying to sell. And then now you can start using the motivation because you understand it now to then close them. And it makes it
You know
much
how to
more
approach, right?
exactly. That approach is a lot less hard, or excuse me, it's easier um, to set an appointment for someone like that because it's very conversational. And whatever the type of personality you're talking to, you're always going to probably want to mirror and match that. So, like, if you got someone on the phone who's a little bit more relaxed, kind of like the doctor, who's maybe he's very knowledgeable and patient and, kind of has his time, kind of take that same approach. That's great, Jim. So tell me about, how does that look? And, why do you need to sell your house? No, okay. Well, what kind of motivated you to put it on the market? What are some things that you would enjoy if you did sell your house? Where are you moving to? Keep asking them questions, and then you get a really good picture of why that person wants to sell. Then you can take that and throw that into the closing. Great. You know what? So, and then that's at one point in the conversation too, Diego. I call it um, like reviewing their point A. So, got it. So, Jim, I think I have a good understanding of kind of where you're at. So, you're a doctor, you spend probably a ton of time working, and on top of that, you got to drive 10 hours a week. And for you, this move is a lifestyle change, right? I mean, this is something that will give you more time to be with your friends, your family, hobbies, whatever you choose to do with it. And you're not really necessarily in a rush or have to sell the house, but you'd like to. I mean, does that sum up your situation? Yeah, that's it. Okay, great. That's exactly why we need to meet, Jim, because I honestly am confident that our team can help you get that commute from 10 hours where it is right now down to a very comfortable margin so you can actually enjoy work and enjoy your family. Going back to what I originally was calling you about is the fact that we do specialize in doing this, and this is what we do for a living. We specialize in selling homes that didn't sell the first time. And I was hoping you'd be free to get together for about 15 minutes, meet with one of our real estate team members, and talk about why your house didn't sell and what needs to happen for it to sell at this point and get you much closer to work and more time with your family. So, when's a good time for us to meet? I mean, it looks like I have a 5:30 on Friday open. Does that work for you? And then that type of closing, Diego, if you can get all your conversations to just kind of move into that, you're going to be great. You're going to convert these at a very high level.
Great, great tip. Thank you.
Okay. So does that help kind of understand the that would be my only tweak, Diego, is to ask more questions, to dig a little bit deeper in the conversation. Um, and obviously that comes with
Get to
time.
know each other, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So, um, let's see if we can maybe do another example real quick. So, all right, kind of going over those notes. Now let's kind of jump back into it, Diego. I'll be a seller who is going to be thinking about, putting it on the market themselves, and then now this person will probably, let's just say that they had like a bad experience with an agent. So, they might be more hesitant than the first guy. So, kind of knowing that, let's see if we can get our objection handlers up and kind of go into that. So, are you ready, Diego? You good?
Uh,
Okay.
Always ready.
Good deal. Good attitude. Okay. So, ring ring. Hello?
Hi, is this Jim?
Yeah, this is Jim.
Hey, Jim. My name is Joe. I work with a real estate team. How are you doing today?
You know what? I'm good. I'm actually at work though. Who did you say you are?
Yes, my name is Joe. The reason for my call is that I saw your home came off the market, and I wanted to find out if it's still available or it actually was sold.
Yeah, I keep getting calls all day at work about that. Um, it just came off the market yesterday. It seems like all the calls I'm getting right now are just from other agents, but no one sold my house when it was on the market, and and now they're all calling me.
Yes, I understand that, Jim, and I know how frustrating it could be. I know you have spent maybe 6 months, right, waiting for the home to be purchased, and you didn't hear about anybody. And here now you have the phone ringing all day long. I hear you, right?
Yeah, it's kind of frustrating.
Yes, I can see that, and I understand. But there is good news, and let me tell you that we specialize actually on selling homes that didn't sell the first time. Yes. I was hoping that you could have a little bit of time right now so we can discuss on the reasons of why your home didn't get sold the first time and make sure that we get that resolved so you can get this next time your home sold as soon as possible with us.
Uh, I don't, I don't know. I mean, I had a really bad experience. The last agent was horrible. I mean, he was like the definition of what not to do. And I mean, he
I
never
enter.
called, and I don't think he did anything. And he wanted 6%.
Okay. Well, tell me, Jimmy, was there anything at all that you actually liked of what the other agent did?
Um, what I liked, I mean, I guess the only thing I liked is our contract's over. Yeah.
Okay, well, I see that maybe there were some difficult selling on the home. Maybe it wasn't because of lack of effort. I'm convinced that most likely it's on the approach. What you need is a different approach on how to sell your home, and we do things different here on our team. Usually other real estate agents they just put a sign on the yard for the house on sale. They place also an announcement or your home on the MLS list, and then they just sit and pray for a buyer's agent to contact them to sell the home. Now, on our case, the benefit that you will be getting, Jim, is that first of all, we will be doing prospecting on your behalf to make sure that we get the right buyer for you so you can get the home sold at top dollar in no time. We have buyers and we need to make sure that you get your home sold as soon as possible, or will that be any issues if we get it sold in the next 30 days?
Will it be an issue? No, I mean, the other guy said the same thing, and he didn't sell it. So, I mean, is there like what else are you going to be doing that the other agent didn't do before? Because like you're the fifth person who calls me today, and everybody said they're going to get it sold, but I'm not. I'm not too convinced.
Actually, that's a valid question, Jim. Actually, what we do here is, as we mentioned, prospecting. So we make sure that we get a proper buyer for your home. We also can do the cold calling for potential buyers if we need to find options for you according to what you have, the price that you're looking for. And we do evaluation also. Uh, uh, we can give you an approximate on how much valuation of your home what could be selling for on the market to make sure that we get the right price, right? So we can get it sold. Do you have any price on your mind for your home? What is your idea for this selling?
I mean, the price we listed it at listed at 125,000. Um, and I mean, I had to do all the work. I had to go. I don't think the agent did anything.
I understand. So you were selling the home plus you were actually going to give a commission if it actually got sold. That's all, right?
Well,
Well,
it was
um,
listed. I listed it with the agent, but he didn't do any marketing. Like I never saw my property anywhere online, and I mean, I'm just gonna keep trying to do it myself. I think at this point, and just put it on
I
Craigslist
understand.
and sell it myself.
Yes, Jim. Well, let me guarantee you that we will give exposure to your home on over thousand of websites, which we already have a dedicated team to be working on that just for you and on that type of marketing. We have also more aggressive marketing than any other by doing the uh, different approach, the methods that I was explaining to you, right? We also have we have a department to be making the calls for the potential buyers. Another team for uh, do it for the open houses, right? So these potential buyers that we filter could visit your home and negotiate their interest on it. And we also do the prospecting of this one, so you get the best deals from it, right? Now, what make you sell this house, Jim? What is the benefit of you selling this house? Are you looking to move to a different place because of work or family,
Yeah,
lifestyle change?
yeah, I mean, no one else asked me that question, so I guess, I don't mind telling you, but, we were looking to move out of state. I got another job offer, and I gotta get out of here. That's why I'm trying to do it myself, because the other agent was horrible. But, listen, I gotta get going pretty soon, because I'm at work still, but,
I
yeah.
hear you. I know that you're on a hurry. Jim, actually, all that we need from is about 15 minutes for to talk about your home and why it didn't get sold and what will be different this time, so you can get all the information that you need. I can also send you an email so you can get heads up on the information about us. You can get more familiar on how we work. What would be a good email to send you this information, Jim, if you're okay with it?
Um, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, if you're gonna shoot me an email, I'll see if I can get back with you. It's just busyguy@gmail.com.
Great, Jim. Busyguy@gmail.com. Okay, Jim, and I know you're on a rush right now for work, but just to give me also heads up, since I still have you on the line, I would like to know if you think that your house was actually um, promoted at the right price. If you were to compare it with a neighborhood and the price that you were selling it to, do you think that's the right price, or you could go lower, or you wanted something else?
I mean, I do have to get going, but for price, I was willing to go a little bit lower. Like there was some cushion there, but I wasn't gonna give money away either. I thought my agent was gonna get me more money because he said the same thing. So we listed it higher, and never got any traffic on it.
Okay, and you already have an idea of where you're gonna be moving to then? That will be closer to your work, as you said?
Yeah, we're trying to get into one more county over because I have a daughter and we need to get her in a better school system. So it was gonna be for work and schools, but I'm gonna have to get going pretty soon. I gotta go pick her up.
I understand. So actually, that will be a pretty good lifestyle changing, right? To get closer to your work and closer to her school, so you could spend more time with them, and you can get faster to your home, right? So to your work as well.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That's why I gotta leave now.
Okay, I understand. You won't be having this rush later on once we help you to get this home sold, and we can actually also help you to find the next one. I don't want you to be um, to be. One second, Jim. That's the problem when you forget one letter, one
You're
word.
good.
You don't want. I don't want to rule out selling your home yet, right? We can help you to find options available to the neighborhood where you're looking for. I can get you in touch actually with a partner that knows more about that area and the market on it, and shows you also some places on that county that you want to go to.
Yeah, that's
Does
fine.
that sound good for you?
Yeah, that's fine. Can you email me? You can just email me that stuff.
Great, excellent. And what do you say if we can meet on in 2 days. Let's say on Friday around 11 a.m. If that sounds okay for you.
Yeah, sure. I can. Yeah, that's fine. Actually, I'm off on Friday, so that's fine. But I gotta go. But
So,
yeah, let's do that. I can. Do you just want to meet at the house or?
yes, please. Let's visit. Let's go to your house so we can also check and help you evaluate the home, so we can have an idea on the price that it should be on the market, and we can discuss the best strategy to sell your house soon, right? What I will do then for you is I will cancel you up for Friday at 11 a.m. then at your home, at your place. Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
Any any other questions that you will have for me today before we go?
No, no, I gotta run, but that sounds good. Friday at 11 is fine.
Okay, excellent. So fantastic. I look forward to hearing you from you on our meeting this Friday at 11 a.m. Jim. And don't worry, you're not gonna be on this rush soon, right?
That sounds good.
Great. Take care.
Okay,
Have a nice
bye-bye.
trip. Okay.
Click. So,
Okay.
good job,
Have
Diego.
a nice commute.
Yeah, Diego, that was really good. You handled a pushy person to try to get you off the phone well, because like my mentality is, and I'm glad you didn't give in and hang up because if they say they're busy, then why did they pick up the phone? Yeah, I mean, really,
Yeah.
if you picked up
Why
the
did you pick it up for unknown number for them,
exactly,
right?
you have a couple minutes, so um, basically that was really good though how you handled it, and then kept asking them questions, so to keep him talking. So that's really good. Take his mind off of trying to get you
The
off the
rush.
phone or rushing or whatever the situation is. I also
Yeah.
want to compliment you on when I was being negative, especially when you have people on the phone who are upset or they had like a bad experience. They're kind of mad at their other agent or just real estate agents in general. Um, to get them talking about something they liked, something positive, get them off of a negative mindset. That was great.
Mhm.
So when you asked if I'm like, oh man, agents they are tough and they just didn't I had a bad experience. Okay, well tell me, Jim. I mean, what was something you liked about the agent? That's perfect. Most people don't know how to respond to that when they're negative. So they want you to listen to how negative they are, and then you kind of get caught up in it. The best way to turn that table is ask them something positive. Well, what do you like about the agent? You had to do something good,
Sure.
right? You chose to list with them, so what do you do good? Well, dang it, I can't complain now. So that's a great way to veer them off, and start that conversation and get them off from talking negative. So very good job there. Um, and then really, Diego, we just got to get you a little bit tighter on. I threw you a couple curveballs when I asked you, like what do you do differently, or there were other agents I was talking to. Um, that's a great time to, if you don't know what to say, to just to agree and understand with them. So, and you're doing a good job at that too. So if they're like, hey, my home didn't sell, and I'm just upset with agents, and to understand them and kind of match their mindset. What I always try to do is just repeat it back to them, and then kind of get on their level and be empathetic with them, and say, you know what, I completely understand, and we call it agreeing massively. Agree massively with that person. I completely
With what?
understand. Agree with them massively.
Mhm.
So the difference being, I agree with you. Oh yeah, I agree. That's pretty tough. So when you're looking to hire the right agent versus agreeing massively, man, I could really appreciate that. I mean that just sounds frustrating. You got people calling you and I didn't sell the first time, and that's just I completely get where that has happened before in my life. I'm so sorry, but I was actually calling you because we specialize in helping you. We specialize in helping people in your situation, just like you, get out of it. So, Jim, tell me. I mean, you had a bad experience, but tell me something that you're looking forward to, you know, to make the move. I mean, what exactly prompted you to put the house up for sale? What are you trying to move to? Oh, well, I want to get out of this town. The school system's not good. Gotcha. Okay. So, and then you can kind of just go back into the conversation and keep asking them more questions. But um, agreeing massively with people allows you to establish the human element. I get where you're coming from. We kind of call it the difference between sympathy versus empathy. So, right, I mean, the best conversations you have are with people who, if you don't have a relationship, can at least understand whatever your position is. So, if something bad happened, oh man, I haven't had that happen to me, but it's probably pretty close to this one time this happened, and man, I get that. That stinks. But you know what? I'm actually here to help. So, you know, let's do this. Let's get you out of that situation. So, what can we do to help you? Someone like that always is preferred versus someone who doesn't exactly seem like they care. They don't put the empathy. It's more sympathy, meaning that conversation might be like, "Oh man, that stinks. Like, sorry that happened. So when are you looking to hire the right salesperson to get your job, for the, and it's like,
Yeah.
this guy doesn't care." So,
Sorry for you.
yeah,
So continue.
that sucks for you.
Yeah,
Shouldn't have done
but
that.
you're
Well,
still right.
yeah, gee, thanks. But, kind of moving from understanding the customer and understanding, where this person's mindset is, which might be from frustration or fear or uh, a lifestyle change they don't have yet. So those are all things that we try to convey on the phone because number one, we do care, and number two, that comes across as our value proposition. Someone who cares and has built that kind of understanding that this person knows what they're doing. That not necessarily what you say, but how you say it is extremely important, and that's going to be picked up by on people on the phone, and that's why we convert at such a high level because we do care. I know exactly what you're talking about. In fact, I deal with crappy agents all of the time. You really need to talk to us. And in fact, I'm so confident that we can help you. I feel I'd be doing you an injustice if I didn't call you and you got stuck with another crappy realtor. When can I come talk to you? And that's how we become passionate about what we do, and that becomes apparent in our conversations and we can convert more. And so by kind of putting that human element, agreeing massively with people, it's going to be a lot easier for you to build rapport. You're going to start becoming almost instantly liked on the phone because you genuinely know where this person's coming from. Your home didn't sell. That sucks. So let's fix it. What were you trying to do? How soon did you want to do it? And how much do you still want to do that? Great. We need to meet. And that's essentially the whole flow of the conversation. Everything else in the script is built to dig more into that and really find out the motivation. So um, that was great though, Diego. You did a good job. Um,
Thank you.
and keeping them on the phone by asking them questions, always good. Always finish asking a question. Um, the only thing I would want to critique is the last objection, number 24. What makes us different? Kind of what we offer. If if you're ever asked the same question twice, Diego, like you just went over the 4 P's of real estate, and then maybe they don't understand prospecting yet, or maybe they just missed it or need to ask you a different way, and they say, well, that's great,
Sure.
everybody says that, and who knows, maybe another
Yeah,
agent.
what else? Yeah,
Yeah.
what else are you gonna do different?
What else are
Yeah,
you
but
going
I
to do
didn't
different?
wonder that.
Gotcha. What I
Okay.
usually do.
I wanted to mention. I wanted to start with the first one. That word, staging. That's the one that I was looking for.
Gotcha.
So that's when I blocked. So I just started improvising, right?
Yeah, and
And I
that's
started
fine.
talking about the four pieces. And yeah,
Make a mental
but yeah,
note.
that's what I was looking for.
Yeah, and honestly, Diego, make a mental note. If anybody ever asks you and you already just talked about the 4 P's of what we do, just scroll all the way to the bottom of the objections. It's right there. It's the last one.
Right, this is
So,
that one. Okay.
yep, if you get stuck or you've already talked about the 4 P's and they're asking you, like, and you've already said,
Again?
yeah, they've already asked you, can you bring me a buyer, or what do you do differently? And, what does your team do different? They might ask you all of those questions, and you're like, I just told you. um, this is a good one to kind of throw in there to just be like, and how I usually tackle that, Diego, if I've already told them the 4 P's of marketing, what I'll say is, and this is not on the script, so this is kind of where your background, once you get better at building from this as your foundation, you'll get really good at responding to these types of questions. But the way I usually tackle something like that is, that's a great question. Honestly, Mr. Seller, when people ask me how we do what we do, mostly because they care about the end result, which is getting your home sold, right? I'm assuming that's what your intention was, correct? Because it did expire. Yeah, I mean that, but how are you going to do that? That's a great question. Honestly, Mr. Seller, what I tell folks is we have a whole marketing plan. And honestly, what we do is our business is broken into the two parts that get homes sold. Prospecting, which is what I just told you about, that's a huge part because 2/3 of all sales in the state of Georgia were done by realtor to realtor contacts. And we want to make sure we don't miss out on 2/3 of the people we can get to sell your house. That's where prospecting comes in. The other third comes in from our marketing plan. And I'm just an assistant on the team. Our agent who actually implements the marketing plan, he's going to be the professional who can really break that down. And what I usually tell people is we don't talk about the marketing plan on the phone because it's just so much better if we show you in person. And really, if you care about getting that end result, I'd rather just meet with you, have one of our specialists meet with you, and show you what that end result looks like and all of the different marketing that we do. For example, just to give you a snapshot to answer your question, we do staging. We have a very aggressive online marketing presence. We do blogs. We're optimized on the internet. And we even have a no hassle home selling experience. So if we don't do what we tell you we're going to do, you can fire us. So for us, it's a very comprehensive plan, and it's all designed to get the end result, which is your home sold. And again, that goes right back to why I'm calling you today, is because that's what we specialize in doing. And in fact, the reason I was calling is I wanted to see if you wouldn't mind if you sat down with us. We can show you that in person. We'll get any of your other questions answered, and then we'll walk you through the process of what we need to do to get you from where you are right now to where you want to be. So when's a good time for us to sit down and meet? It looks like our home specialist, Jim, who is in your area, he's the person who can really explain our marketing plan and show you all the bells and whistles, get any of those questions that you have answered. He actually has an opening tomorrow at 10:30. Would that time work for you? And just go in for the close. So that's kind of how I spin it, Diego. And for you to help you kind of understand it, that is truly how our business model works. We split it into two different departments. Prospecting is one that we spend time on to get the result. So I have to pick up a phone and call people. So I didn't necessarily spend money. I might have already paid for the phone, but essentially I'm putting time in to get a result. So that's a huge component because we're very aggressive. We're not lazy. We don't do 3 Ps. We do the fourth one. So that's a huge component. And that's a real statistic too. 2/3 of all home sales in Georgia were done agent to agent referrals. So we're out there constantly looking for a buyer. We're selling your home twice. Let me explain what that means. I sell it to another agent, then that agent goes and sells it to all their clients. And we're doing that every day. And we have a whole team dedicated to doing that. And on top of that, that's the one facet where we spend time to make your home get sold, the end result. The other one is our marketing plan. And man, that's comprehensive. Just to even give you a snapshot, we have staging, we have a strong internet presence, We're everywhere. We're on every major website. We're on Craigslist, on Trulia. If it's on the internet, we're on it. We're selling your home on those types of websites. We do social media. We blog about it. We're ranked on Google. And in fact, all of that's done with a no hassle home selling experience. So if you feel like we're not doing as much as we're promising, you can fire us. No questions asked. So that's what makes us different, Mr. Seller. And when people ask me that question, I genuinely smile because we care and we do so much more than any other agent. And in fact, I'm so much of a believer in it. If I didn't call you today, I would almost feel bad because I wouldn't want you to get stuck with a weak agent at a weak moment. So, when's a good time for us to meet? We'd love to send one of our strongest agents out there. He's our team leader and our listing agent, which means he specializes in only selling houses. That's what he does. And he'll be able to walk you through the entire marketing plan, answer any questions you have. It usually takes Jim about 15 to 20 minutes, depending how many questions you have for him. And we'll tell you what we need to do to get your home sold. So I don't want you to get stuck with the weak agent at a weak moment. So when can we set an appointment for you to meet with a really strong one? How does Saturday at 2 p.m. look?
That sounds great for me.
So, and if you can kind of get that type of belief, Diego, because you really do know all the facets of the business, then it's super easy to convert people. You just got to get them to understand or get them to a mental state where they can listen. And the only way you can get them there is by first being a very good listener. And that's usually at the end where I sell them on all this stuff. And they're like, wow, you're really passionate about what you do. I'm like, damn straight I am. That's why we sell so many houses. When can I show you what I do? House tomorrow. And that's what makes us different. That's what you want, right? So, and they do. They want a nice shark. And that's kind of what we tell people is we are very professionally nice but aggressive.
Like a shark.
Exactly. You want a friendly shark. So we'll show you how that looks. It's a very comprehensive plan. It works just like a magician. I show you my trick in person and I do it once and that's it. So that's all you need to know. So when can we send out our magician to show you how we make houses disappear? Is tomorrow at 2 p.m. good?
Okay. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
How we can make your house disappear and get your wallet
Yeah,
full.
exactly. All I care about is netting you what you need. The rest you leave to the magician. I'll show you what my magic show looks like in person. When can we meet?
Great. Yeah, and it will only take 15 minutes.
Exactly. Yep. So that's what we can do then, Diego. That's kind of how we can close it, is walk them through that process. So I would say great improvement. I think there's some things that we can just kind of fine tune and kind of work on asking a lot of questions and really not necessarily being worried about knowing our scripts as much as understanding the flow of the conversation and how to respond with our scripts. And then
Correct.
once we have that established, we know their situation, we know their point A, then we can step in and close them, and it makes it much more natural. So let's just kind of keep on working on that. I think that's it for now. We just got to, I think we're running over a little bit. Yep, we are. Kind of went over in that one. That's okay. I need to head out in about 6 minutes. So that'll wrap it up for today. Basically, real quick then, Diego.